Picture this exact scene, because you have likely lived it more times than you care to admit. You walk into a crowded room. It could be a high-stakes business meeting, a social gathering, or a room full of acquaintances. You want to be heard. You want your presence to matter. So, what does your primitive human brain tell you to do? It tells you to perform. You try to join every conversation. You laugh a little too quickly at jokes that aren't funny. You offer unsolicited opinions, adjust your clothes, move your hands nervously, and over-explain your ideas the moment anyone gives you a second of attention. And what happens after all that wasted energy? Nothing. You still feel invisible. People interrupt you without thinking twice. Your words carry no weight, and the energy of the room flows right past you as if you weren't even standing there. Now, contrast that with a completely different kind of human being. A person walks into the exact same room. They do not wave their arms, they do not raise their voice, they do not rush to greet everyone, and they certainly do not compete for attention. They simply step into the space, stand still, and carry a quiet, icy composure. Yet, within 2 minutes, something subtle and extraordinary happens to the room. The loud voices begin to drop. People turn their heads subconsciously. When this person speaks, even if it is just 3 slow, quiet words, the entire room falls dead silent to listen. What is this invisible force? Is it luck? Is it genetics? Or is it a psychological mastery that you were never taught? Ancient Stoic philosophy and modern behavioral psychology reveal a profound truth. Social authority is not built on noise, it is built on gravity. Noise is cheap. Noise is desperate. Noise is the weapon of a fragile ego begging for social validation. Gravity, on the other hand, is silent. Gravity is the natural pull created by a mind that is so self-governed, so unshakable, and so completely free from the need to impress anyone that its mere presence demands awareness. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire of tens of millions not by shouting commands in the Senate, but by cultivating an internal citadel that made his quiet presence heavier than the arguments of his rivals. In this comprehensive deep dive, we are going to break down 7 strategic psychological tricks to command any room without saying much. Pay close attention to trick number 4, because if you make that single mistake, every other boundary you build will instantly collapse. Let us begin. Trick 1. The principle of physical stillness. Let us begin with the immediate physical reality of how your body betrays your internal state long before you open your mouth. Observe the average human being in a social setting. They are in a state of perpetual nervous motion. They shift their weight from foot to foot every 10 seconds. They touch their face, adjust their watch, check their phone for no reason, tap their fingers on a table, or nod frantically while someone else is talking just to show agreement. In behavioral psychology, these are known as low-status, pacifying behaviors. When your brain senses even a microdose of social anxiety or insecurity, it commands your body to make small, rhythmic movements to self-soothe. To you, these movements feel harmless. But to the subconscious minds of everyone else in the room, you are broadcasting a clear signal. I am uncomfortable. I am anxious. I am seeking safety. You are bleeding your social gravity through 1,000 tiny leaks. The Stoic master Epictetus addressed physical self-possession with absolute clarity. Hold fast to this rule. When you are in company, keep your body in order. Let your posture be composed, your hands still, and your gaze steady. For a frantic body reveals a chaotic soul. To command a room instantly, you must execute the principle of physical stillness. When you enter a space, walk to where you need to be, and then freeze your unnecessary motion. Plant your feet shoulder-width apart. Let your hands rest naturally at your sides or on a table. Do not touch your phone. Do not adjust your collar. Do not nod compulsively while people speak to you. Look at what happens to the room when you master physical stillness. In a world where everyone is twitching, checking screens, and rushing, a person who stands completely still like a marble statue becomes an immediate visual anchor. Your stillness forces people to look at you, because the human brain is hardwired to scan for anomalies in the environment. By eliminating micro-fidgets, you signal that you are entirely comfortable occupying space. You don't need to move frantically to soothe yourself, because your internal state is already at peace. That physical composure is the first layer of unshakable authority. Trick 2. The eye contact break here is a common scenario that instantly destroys a person's presence in a room. You walk through a hallway or enter a meeting room. Your eyes meet the eyes of a stranger or a senior colleague. What do your eyes do in that first half second? Nervous, submissive people execute the quick eye drop. They look down at the floor, dart their eyes to the side, or pretend to look at something on the wall. They treat eye contact as a dangerous confrontation that they must immediately yield to avoid conflict. When you break eye contact downward, your brain registers a micro-defeat, and the other person's brain registers that you yielded space to them without a fight. To shift the energy of any room, you must implement the eye contact break. When your eyes meet someone else's across a room, do not look away immediately. Hold their gaze for one extra deliberate second. Do not stare with aggressive anger or a wide-eyed glare that is merely fake toughness. Hold it with calm, neutral, unblinking curiosity. Then, when you decide to break eye contact, never break it downward. Break it horizontally to the side, as if you simply finished evaluating the environment and chose to look elsewhere. Seneca wrote extensively about the internal gaze of a Stoic practitioner. The mind that is secure in its own worth does not dart about like a thief in the night. It looks upon all things with steady, unhurried eyes. Consider the psychological impact of holding your gaze for that single extra second. It proves that you are not intimidated by the presence of others. It forces the other person to process your awareness. You are telling the room without a single word, "I see you, I am aware of you, but your presence does not throw me off my axis." That subtle shift in visual dominance immediately establishes your spatial ownership over the room. Trick 3. The 3-second vocal buffer. Notice how fast people talk when they feel insecure or eager to please. Someone asks them a question, and before the question has even fully left the speaker's lips, the insecure person fires back an answer. They talk at a rapid, breathless speed. They chop off their own sentences, talk over people, and fill every tiny pause with words like "you know," basically. Or, Why do they do this? Because deep down, they are terrified that if they pause for even 1 second, someone will interrupt them or lose interest in what they have to say. They view silence during speech as a dangerous gap that must be filled at all costs. A person of sovereign presence does the exact opposite. They utilize the 3-second vocal buffer. When someone asks you a question in a meeting, a social setting, or an argument, do not respond immediately. Stop. Hold total physical stillness. Count to 3 silently in your mind while maintaining calm eye contact. 1, 2, 3. Only after that buffer has passed do you deliver your response, speaking at a measured, unhurried, lower-pitched tempo. Marcus Aurelius practiced this mental discipline strictly. Let no action be done without purpose, nor otherwise than according to the perfect principles of art. Pause before you move, deliberate before you speak. Let us analyze what happens inside the room during those 3 seconds of deliberate silence. First, the person who asked the question is instantly forced to focus on you. The silence draws their attention like a magnet. Second, the entire room assumes that your upcoming answer is calculated, deeply considered, and authoritative. Third, you prove that you cannot be rushed by the social anxiety of others. You operate on your own timeline. By taking control of the speed of conversation, you take control of the energy of the room. Your words cease to be cheap banter. They become events that people wait to hear. Trick 4. The art of unreadable neutrality. This is the central pillar of silent authority and the exact point where 90% of people fail. Pay close attention. Most people believe that to look strong in a room, they need to look angry, cold, intense, or confrontational. They wear a permanent scowl, cross their arms tight, and act as if they hate everyone in the room. This is an amateur mistake. An angry, hostile expression is not a sign of strength, it is a sign of vulnerability. It tells the room that you are defensive, on guard, and deeply affected by the environment. It shows that you feel threatened. Real psychological presence relies on unreadable neutrality. Unreadable neutrality is a face that carries zero tension. Your jaw is relaxed, your forehead is smooth, your lips are light, and your expression is completely balanced. You are neither desperate to smile and please people, nor desperate to look tough and intimidate them. You are simply present. Epictetus gave his students a clear instruction on how to maintain internal and external neutrality. When you see anyone weeping in grief or distress, take care that the appearance does not carry you away. As far as words go, do not disdain to accommodate them, but take care that you do not groan inwardly. Consider the psychological effect of a truly neutral face in a chaotic or emotional room. When someone makes a joke at your expense, a neutral face makes the joke die instantly in the air, turning the awkwardness back on the person who said it. When someone tries to provoke you into an argument, a neutral face makes them feel as if they just punched a soft pillow. No resistance, no feedback, no emotional reward. Because people cannot read your exact thoughts from your face, they become cautious around you. They treat you with an unspoken level of care because they don't know where your boundaries lie or what your next move will be. Your unreadable neutrality creates an invisible shield that no one in the room dares to test. Trick 5. Slowing down your spatial transitions. Watch how people move through space when they walk into a room where they feel out of place or inferior. They walk fast. They take short, choppy steps. They dodge out of the way of other people instantly. If they need to sit down, they pull out a chair quickly, sit down on the edge of the seat, and pull their legs in tight to take up as little physical space as possible. Behavioral scientists call this submissive spatial velocity. When you move quickly and tightly through a room, your subconscious is screaming, "I am an intruder here. I don't belong in this space. I am trying to pass through without disturbing the important people." To reverse this dynamic completely, you must adopt slow spatial velocity. When you walk into a room, cut your walking speed by 20%. Take wider, more deliberate steps. Let your shoulders hang loose and low. When you sit down in a chair, take your time. Pull the chair out deliberately. Sit deep into the back of the seat, place your arms comfortably on the armrests, and let your legs occupy a natural, comfortable space. Seneca described the physical grace of a Stoic mind as an extension of internal calm. A soul that is great and noble moves with quiet dignity. It does not scurry like a frightened mouse, nor does it rush as if hunted by enemies. Observe what happens when you slow down your physical transitions in a room. You broadcast an immediate message to every nervous system around you: I belong in this space. I am not an intruder. I am completely comfortable right here. People instinctively yield physical pathing to a person who walks with slow, unhurried velocity. You don't have to push past anyone. The simple, heavy momentum of your composed movement causes the room to part around you naturally. Trick 6. The selective reaction. Ask yourself this question. How easily do people get an emotional reaction out of you? If someone tells a mild joke, do you laugh out loud just to make them feel good? If someone makes a dramatic statement, do you gasp or offer immediate agreement? If someone enters the room, do you turn your head instantly like a puppy waiting for a command? If you answer yes, you are giving away your social validation for free. When your emotional reactions are cheap and easily triggered, they lose all psychological value. People stop trying to earn your respect because they know they can get your attention, your smiles, and your nods for zero effort. To command any room, you must implement the selective reaction. You do not withhold warmth or politeness out of spite or bitterness, but you treat your reactions as valuable, high-tier capital. When someone speaks in a room, do not react instantly. Listen with calm neutrality. If something is genuinely intelligent, offer a brief, genuine nod. If something is actually funny, offer a slight, controlled smile. If something is foolish, dramatic, or manipulative, offer absolutely nothing. Let your face remain perfectly still. Marcus Aurelius wrote a powerful reminder about guarding his internal attention. It is a royal thing to be spoken ill of when you are doing good. It is a sovereign thing to remain unmoved when the world demands your drama. Look at how the room dynamic shifts when you become selective with your reactions. Suddenly, people begin to seek your feedback subconsciously. They look at you after making a point in a meeting to see if you nodded. They scan your face after telling a story to see if you smiled. Because your validation is rare and deliberate, getting a nod from you carries more weight than getting a 10-minute round of applause from a noisy crowd. You become the judge of the room simply by holding your reactions back until they are earned. Trick 7. The absolute willingness to walk away. We come now to the final, most powerful psychological trigger of all. Without this final principle, every other trick on this list is just an act. What is the ultimate source of all silent authority? It is not your body language. It is not your eye contact. It is not your voice tone. It is your absolute, genuine, internal willingness to walk away. Think about why people lose their power in rooms, relationships, and negotiations. They lose their power because they are terrified of being left out. They are terrified of losing the deal, terrified of being excluded from the group, terrified of uncomfortable silence, and terrified of standing alone. Because they are desperate to be included, they tolerate disrespect, accept poor terms, and compromise their boundaries just to stay in the room. The room knows it. The people in the room can smell your desperation from a mile away. A practicing Stoic carries an internal citadel that is completely self-contained. They do not need to be in any room. They do not need any group's approval. They do not need to stay where their dignity is compromised. Epictetus taught that real freedom is the capacity to leave any situation without regret. The door is always open. If the room no longer serves your virtue or your dignity, walk out into the fresh air. Why remain a slave when the door is unlocked? Consider the terrifying psychological force of a person who is entirely comfortable walking away. When you enter a room, knowing in your heart that you can stand up and leave the moment your boundaries are violated, your entire energy shifts. You no longer look desperate. You no longer overexplain. You no longer tolerate disrespect. Your silence takes on an icy, dangerous edge, because everyone in the room senses that you are not dependent on them for anything. You hold the ultimate leverage over every room you enter, the unshakable power of a human being who is entirely content with their own company. Conclusion. The sovereign presence in the final assessment. Commanding a room without saying much has nothing to do with cheap manipulation, fake dominance, or performing for an audience. It is about returning to yourself. It is about shedding the frantic, noisy, desperate habits that modern society has tricked you into adopting. It is about realizing that your energy, your focus, and your time are sovereign assets that should never be wasted on cheap validation. Stop trying to force the room to see you. Build your physical stillness. Master the eye contact break. Hold your 3-second vocal buffer. Guard your unreadable neutrality. Slow down your movement. Make your reactions rare and valuable. And above all, hold the unshakable willingness to stand alone. When you master these 7 principles, you won't need to ask for attention when you walk into a room. The room will simply quiet down, step back, and give you the space your character has earned. If you are ready to stop begging for validation and command your presence in total silence starting today, leave one word in the comments section below. Presence. Walk steady. Build in silence. And let your presence speak for itself.